You can give yourself a million excuses. Trust me, I know how to give excuses. Let me get my coffee real quick and I can go ahead and give you some right now. Give me a second. Okay. Y'all ready? Let's get the excuses done. Okay? I'm tired. You're gonna have to be willing to put in the work, sweetheart. Don't you trust in me? Don't you believe that I'll make things happen for you? Why are you listening to this outside resources? Why are you believing in why it's not gonna work out? What happened to the faith that you have? Hello, welcome to my channel. It's me, Nadia. How are you guys doing? So today the topic is taking a leap of faith. And so I want to talk about this because I feel comfortable talking about this because I have taken many leaps of faith. And if you're anything like me, then maybe you have taken a leap in faith and you kind of understand what I'm saying or trying to give to you, or maybe you don't have enough faith. And so I'm here to encourage you if you need a little faith and you want to have a little encouragement to push you in the direction of where you want to go. I'm going to talk about 5 ways to take a leap of faith, okay? 5 ways. Now, this is not 100% accurate. There's probably many ways to take a leap of faith. So add this to your own personal list. That would be my advice to that. So I'm going to tell you some of the ways that I take a leap of faith. So my first step is your desire has to be greater than your fear. And so usually when you have faith in something, there's something that you're desiring or an outcome that you want, and you want to have faith. You want to believe that that desire is going to come out, right? But sometimes circumstances can make it look like it's not going to work out, or you might get a news saying that something's not going to happen, or your current situation is telling you it's not going to work. So your desire has to be greater than your fear. What I mean by that is that you're going to have to be able to push past your fear to actually believe and have faith in what it is that you want. So you got to let go of fear. It's hard to operate in a way of faith if you have fear. Faith and fear are like opposite things. They can't work together, okay? The second thing, I had to learn how to trust myself. When I needed faith, I had to learn how to trust myself, and I also had to learn how to trust God. If God is telling me you need to have faith in this, I got you covered. Do not listen to the outside noise. Do not worry about why it's not going to work out. Please stop thinking about that. Don't you ever hear that voice? I hear that voice. When something happens and I'm like, oh no, I can't do this, it's not going to happen. Then I have to tell myself, then I hear a voice saying, hey, like a little knock on my head, and it says, don't you trust in me? Don't you believe that I'll make things happen for you? Why are you listening to this outside resources? Why are you believing in why it's not going to work out? What happened to the faith that you have? And God sees that. When God sees that you don't have faith, and you know what that shows God? This is my opinion, that you don't trust Him. So think about it. God created this whole world. He made all of us. He made this world. God is the creator of the world. And if you need faith in something, that means you're asking God for faith, right? So how could you ask for faith and not receive it? And when I say you're not receiving it, is that you're not trusting the process. You're not trusting God. So you have to trust God. So the first thing is your desire for something has to be greater than your fear. So that's the one way that you can go towards faith. The second thing is you have to trust in God and you have to trust in yourself. So the third thing, you're going to have to be willing to put in the work, sweetheart. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just saying this was me. When I'm talking to this camera, I'm talking to myself and I'm talking to you at the same time because, if you're anything like me, sometimes you don't want to put in the work, or you say you can give yourself a million excuses. Trust me, I know how to give excuses. Let me get my coffee real quick and I can go ahead and give you some right now. Give me a second. Okay. Y'all ready? Let's get the excuses done. Okay? I'm tired. I can't do it. Oh, I'm feeling sleepy. Oh, I don't have any energy. Oh, but I don't have enough money No, I don't have enough money. Well, I don't come from a family that can help me do that. Well, my legs are kind of long and they make it kind of walk kind of funny. Well, I got in an accident when I was 5 years old. So when I was 5 years old, my mom and my dad, they did this and they did that. They didn't teach me how to, do this. Oh, nobody taught me how to do this. Well, I didn't come from this kind of background. Well, look at me. I'm from this place. What do you expect? What do you mean I can't do it? Well, I have straight F's and I have all these poor grades. Well, how am I going to make it? You can just make anything up, And guess what? You can pile a whole bunch of reasons and excuse to not put in the work, right? Because if you're given all these reasons, what's the point trying if it's most likely not going to work out, right? Just give away your power, right? Just give away your agency. Just forget about what you can do to change a circumstance, right? So yeah, when you have faith for something, you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to put in work. And I'm not saying exhaust yourself, make yourself tired. I'm not trying to preach that. I believe in rest. I believe in living the good life. I believe in living the soft life, darling. I've been living the soft life all my life. Yeah, and they hate me for it. But what I'm saying is put in the work, okay? Let me ask you a question. When you go somewhere and you decide to get coffee at Starbucks and you walk in and somebody says, "Hi, how are you doing? I hope you have," "Yep. Well, do you want to put some cream in there?" Then you go in the line, people smile. Then you look at your coffee and the coffee just tastes right. The temperature is right. The color is right. You didn't have to say anything. It was just done correctly. They put in the work. People put in the work. Or when you go in the restaurant and you look at your food and it's not cold, it's not dry, all the pieces are together, the flavor is just right. Whoever cooked it put a little care in it, and that takes work, okay? When you do things a little bit slower, a little bit smoother, put a little bit more effort, a little bit more love, a little bit more tender care, that's putting in the work, okay? That is putting in the work. And those little small actions mean something. So be willing to put in the work. Be willing to put in the work when nobody's watching. Be willing to put in the work when you're not promised for an outcome. Be willing to put in the work just for yourself. Be willing to put in the work just so you could feel better about something, Be willing to work, I'm telling you right now, when I first started working less and doing things, when I didn't do things around the house, when things were not, when I was just kind of floating around, I had no idea how to do things and I had all this time, it made me feel bad. But once I started putting in the work, I gotta wake up, then I gotta do this, then I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna go on my YouTube channel, then I'm gonna make my videos, then I'm gonna edit that, then I'm gonna go to the park. Putting in the work most of the times won't hurt you. You don't have to exhaust yourself. You don't have to make yourself just to the bone. You can still put in the work and still be soft, darling. Put in the work, okay? I just wanted to emphasize putting in the work. So when you put in the work, you're taking the small leaps of faith. You take the small leap of faith, and each time you take those small leaps of faith by putting in the work, you will be rewarded whether you know it or not, okay? Even if your outcome doesn't come true, God sees that. The fourth thing, you are going to have laser focus, okay? Right now we're in this time where we can be very distracted, and it makes me scared. It makes me so scared. You guys, I'm a type of person who likes control. Not control of other people, but I like to monitor myself and control myself. I like to control my actions. I like to control my mouth. I like to control my emotions, because I realize that, when you have more control, you have more power. And it takes a lot of control to be focused, okay? So right now, I stopped using, when I was when Facebook, I didn't use Facebook because that means I would be distracted being on Facebook. When I was in school, I didn't go on Instagram because it meant that I was going to be distracted from studying. I had to study, and I knew myself. I wasn't the type of person who could study a little bit and get good grades. I had to really study, put in the time. Not on Instagram. Same thing now. I decided to get back off of Instagram because I felt like it wasn't adding anything to my life. It wasn't adding any value to my life, so I got off of it. Also, TikTok. I decided to not even, I was on TikTok for maybe 2 or 3 days and I decided it's just not for me. Like, when I see something's not for me, it doesn't matter if everybody else likes it, everybody else enjoys it, it's not for me. Honestly, I hate to be judgmental, but I'm gonna work on it. When I see people on TikTok and they're just scrolling at work and just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm on my phone too, but TikTok is something different because it's like a whole bunch of little clips and it sucks them in like this. So anyways, you got to be focused. And so, I'm constantly fighting that, and it's so hard because I have access to my phone, I have access to my computer. I'm a computer kind of savvy girl. I like technology. I've been using the internet since I was like 10 or 11 or 9 years old. I like communicating with people. So you have to learn how to focus. When you're needing faith in something, you just got to focus on what it is that you're wanting to have faith on. And that means being able to control your mind. That means being able to cancel out all the noise. That means to be able to not listen to other people's judgment. That means to not let other people's energy, problems, things to get around you, to penetrate your soul, penetrate your aura. You have to keep that aura clean. You have to keep it focused, because right now you're focusing on your faith. So you really have to focus, and whatever it is that you have faith in, that is what you need. That focusing on what you have faith in means the world. Like, I just feel like there's some kind of power in that. Okay, the 5th thing, pray. Sorry, I'm closing my eyes. I'm getting in the zone. You have to pray about it. There's like something that happened in my life. Every time something significant happens in my life, I always say, God, I have to breathe. I am about to do something right now where I don't think that I could do it, or I don't know if it's going to work out. The circumstance is telling me that it's not going to work out. My reality is telling me that this is not going to happen for me. I can see it in writing that this might not happen for me, God. But I want to do this. I want this to happen in my life, God. Can I take this leap of faith? Can I do it? Sometimes it could be a financial thing, like I might not have enough money to take care of the situation. How am I going to get the money to make this happen, God? How am I going to be able to afford for this to happen? How am I going to get out of this situation, God? I really want this, God. Should I continue? Lord, I don't want to get my heart broken if I put all my faith in this, God, and it doesn't work out, So then I have the prayer and I say, you know what? I'm going to do the best that I can and have faith in this. And if it doesn't work out, then I know that it's not in your will, God. And then I just leave it to God, and then I just say, whew. So I follow those steps. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Your desire has to be greater than your fear. So my desire has to be greater than my fear, meaning that I have to overcome my fear and my doubt so I can operate in a way where my faith will be more powerful than my fear, okay? The second thing is you're going to need to learn how to trust yourself. And in that, when you trust yourself, you trust your creator, and that means you trust your God. So then that means you have more strength, okay? 3, you're going to have to be willing to put in the work. God will give you instructions, and most times those instructions causes action. So things don't just happen just sitting here dreaming about things, looking at things. You have to be active in those situations. You see, the air that we breathe, it doesn't just sit. It travels. The air that we're breathing right now is the same air that everybody's breathing. The same air that, Jesus was breathing is the same air that we take in and we put out. Okay? It doesn't go anywhere. It's in constant motion, constant motion. The blood in our body is in constant motion. It's making actions. You know what happens when the blood starts getting slow and it starts getting, that's what happens. It'll clot up, okay? And then there'll be a dysfunction. So there is something about action. Even if it's slow, movement is what's going to keep you strong. Movement is what's going to keep you whole. So you make the action that you need, Dead space, dead time, idle time, lack of movement usually causes some kind of dysfunction, right? So you just have to be active. You have to be active in your mind. You have to be active in your actions, constantly, thinking about creating something, envisioning something, imagining something. There has to be movement, okay? So that's what I call putting in the work. It doesn't have to be physical all the time. It could be putting in the work of unpacking all your biases, unpacking all of your weaknesses, freeing yourself from any kind of thoughts that's not bringing you towards what you need to do, okay? The fourth thing, you're going to have laser focus. We talked about that a lot. You got to be focused. And then the fifth thing is you pray. You accept whatever it is that's going to happen and know that you put in good effort and faith. And then you ask for guidance and reassurance. Ask for your way to be led. And then you just let it go. And so that's what taking a leap of faith is. It's not easy to do when you do it, but the more leap of faith you take and the more that you see how you're rewarded for that faith, then you start realizing something. Your faith is powerful. Your faith is powerful. And that it can take you anywhere, Anyways, I hope you have a good day. Love you. Bye.